Bienvenidos a Besos de NYC. I'm Patricia Wedding, promoting small businesses, artists, and entrepreneurs, and the culture of NYC. Today, I'll be introducing you to Chef Dabagh, owner and chef of Bulgur. He'll be showing us how he makes traditional pita bread and fried rice. So stay tuned to meet Alan. How are you?
I'm good. Just surviving this adventure. Honestly, it's very challenging. It's literally a brand new business model and a new way of operating. We've changed everything systematically from the way we interact with our employees to the way we interact with our staff to the way we prepare the food to literally everyday things of just hygiene as well as how we produce our food and cook or even plan out our day. Now it comes down to weather forecasting and planning schedules where, okay, it's not going to rain this day, so we could have an extra hand, but it might rain this day, so let's send some people home. So it's been really difficult trying to navigate that, as well as now cities regulating a lot of restaurants and bars a lot more than other businesses because of the social aspect of restaurants and bars. So they've introduced new restrictions in how we are to serve alcohol. Now it's required that you have to serve food with every beverage. And that's going to be a little difficult because the way restaurants work is a guest will sit down, they'll order their drink while their food is cooking. They'll have the drink and be waiting. Unfortunately, we're hearing a lot of backlash of where people that are enforcing that don't understand the aspect of drinking while eating. It takes a second for the food to cook while the drinks come out pretty quickly. And it's going to be very difficult for someone to police that and have the discretion of, were you eating before or were you eating after your drink or were you waiting for your drink? Like, what's the premise of responding to that? And now we're trying to figure out how can we still introduce takeout drinks without putting ourselves at risk to getting penalized, because now there's this 3-strike rule. So now we're planning to implement, honestly, a bag of crackers or nuts or fried chickpeas or anything that'll accommodate every beverage sold, just to comply with the rules and regulations and also to help us survive with the cost of doing business in New York the way it is. Bulgur is all about family. It's all about bringing people together. So the kind of cuisine Bulgur is about, it's new American with Middle Eastern influences. So I'm coming from Lebanese and Syrian descent, but I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, and I've had the opportunity to be around a melting pot of people and a melting pot of cultures and different flavors and different tastes. And I've had a background in Italian cooking and French cooking and Asian influence cooking. So it was nice to play on what I grew up eating with all the influences around me and what I had the opportunity to do and try and taste and the techniques I've gotten to learn. So that's where everything came together, and that's why we consider a new American with Middle Eastern influences. So today I will be showing you guys 2 dishes. We're going to be baking our pita bread that we bake to order daily. Actually, for every order, we bake it to order. And then our Bulgur fried rice, which has been a staple on the menu since we first opened. It's one of the dishes that we were highlighted by the James Beard Foundation and a few other publications like Men's Health. And so we're excited to just introduce that and show you guys how we really get it cooked and put together. So right now we're making our pita bread. We bake our pita bread to order with our dips in certain dishes. So our pita takes about 12 hours to prepare before we can even use it. It's a high water content dough, so it's really volatile in the way it rises and the way it grows and the way it proofs. So we have to keep an eye on it, and we have to make it daily. It's not something that could carry more than a 24-hour period. So after 24 hours, we got to make a fresh batch. This is what separates our dough from a lot of other doughs. And fresh pita to a table, baked within a few minutes, you really can't beat that. You don't find that too often in a lot of restaurants or in a lot of other Middle Eastern places, because they're just utilizing pita that you could buy from commercial bakeries. But for us, it was just something that highlighted what we're about: breaking bread around the table, breaking bread around the community, breaking bread with your family. Breaking into a fresh baked pita is like no other thing. So our oven is between 800 and 900 degrees. It's still rising daily, and it just keeps getting hotter. And by the time the next day comes in, when we're ready to start up again, it's still around 400 to 500 degrees. But the oven cooks a pita in about 3 to 4 minutes, so it's a pretty quick turnaround time. For, then you have fresh baked pita, nice and pillowy, nice and doughy.
So that's the proper look when it comes out of the oven.
And then you peel it open, you have the little pocket, all the steam starts coming out, and you dig in. So now we have another dish that we're going to be showing you guys, and it's our Bulgur fried rice. The Bulgur fried rice has been on the menu since we first opened. This is taking our Asian influence and our Middle Eastern influence and bringing it together. But instead of using traditional rice, we use our Bulgur wheat. Bulgur wheat is a cracked wheat. It's a little more nutty and just more flavorful for me compared to regular rice. So for the Bulgur, we just soak it overnight, just so it softens through, because we don't want to cook it like rice or it's going to get glutinous. So we just soak it. The cooking process actually comes when we're making our fried rice. So instead of using pork or spare ribs or a pork product, we actually use Sijuk, which is an Armenian beef sausage, and it gives it a little heat. We still introduce some garlic ginger, scallions, some English peas, a cracked egg, but we also finish our fried rice not with just soy sauce, but we also add some pomegranate molasses and a sweet soy that's a reduction that is found in a lot of Middle Eastern dishes. So we'll start with that one. So as long as you have all the components ready, this dish is done within 3 to 4 minutes. So we'll add a little olive oil to the pan just to get it coated. So we're using a black cast iron pan, but these are some of the lightweight ones. They just conduct heat a lot better, and they hold the heat, and they can get screaming hot without worrying about the metal warping. And they're a lot easier to saute food in than those big, heavy duty cast iron. So we're going to start with our Sijuk. Sijuk is a semi-dry Armenian beef sausage with some spices, so we just dice it up. We add it to the pan and let it start sauteing. That's going to release the oils that are in it. So while our sausage is cooking, we're going to add a combination of garlic and ginger, scallions, and English peas. This allows the flavors to start melding and coming together. So what I like to do is shift everything to one side to prepare my egg. So we just take a whole egg, drop it into one side, let it start cooking. And then we'll scramble it. And now we'll introduce it to the rest of the ingredients. That way everything is now layered in flavors. So after we add that, now we can introduce our soaked bulgur. And now just start letting it heat through. And now we can introduce our sweet pomegranate soy sauce. So now that the fried rice is heated fully through, it's ready to plate. So we just shut off the heat. And we'll finish it with some enoki mushroom. It gives it some freshness to balance out the sweetness, the spiciness, and gives it a little freshness. And we add a little sesame seeds. And that's our Bulgur fried rice. And welcome to Boutros.
I enjoyed learning how Alan makes pita bread and one of now my favorite dishes, which is a fried rice dish. It's amazing. I can't say enough of it. So the pita bread is unlike anything I've ever tasted. I don't think I ever tasted real pita bread. I can't explain it. Since I've discovered it, I've been buying 2 packets at a time. 6 pita breads come in it because my daughters will just gobble it up and leave me with nothing. So if you ever get it, get at least 2 packets. You can throw a packet in the freezer if you need to make it last. The fried rice, amazing. Makes me feel like a little kid again. I've never had these flavors, bursting flavors in my mouth before. It's kind of earthy. There's a wonderful texture. It's spicy. You need to come down to Boutros and taste it for yourself. It's amazing. My new favorite dish, literally. So that and a little bit of hibiscus lime refreshing drink. A little splash of tequila. Wonderful. So if you're ever in Brooklyn, by the Esplanade, walking down by the waterfront, come on through Brooklyn Heights. It's beautiful, it's picturesque. It's a lot of little brownstones, a lot of history. And then make your way over to Boutros. Boutros is located on Atlantic and Court Street. Can't miss it. I hope you make it out to Boutros in Brooklyn. Hasta la próxima. This is Patricia Wedding, sending you Besos de NYC.